Congratulations, Jaydan.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
I'll ask you about how your eyes lit up when I saw the ball coming at you.
Yeah.
And,
Not good. Not good.
and we're live at the Army post game. We're going to hear from Army freshman defensive back Jaydan Mays.
Hey guys on Zoom, you got me? Awesome. We're going to have Tyhier, Tyler, Jaydan Mays, and Coach Monken. First up will be Jaydan Mays. He's right next to me, so we'll get started here in about 5 seconds.
Recording in progress.
And Ken Kraetzer's here in person, so he'll get the first couple, and then once he's done, you guys can start on Zoom.
How you doing?
Jaydan, congratulations. What was it like? I just heard in the locker room singing Brave Old Army Team. What is that like, that experience for you?
It just feels great. I always see most times the person that leads that chant is the player of the game. So I wouldn't call myself the player of the game, but I definitely think I was put in the position and I had the opportunities to make the play. When I did, it just feels overwhelming.
Well, tell us a little bit. You went in late in the game, but you got a ball thrown right at you, and you made the play, and you ran about 15, 20 yards with it. Tell us about it.
Yeah, so it started off, we were in cover 3. Number 1 ran a hitch. I saw number 2 keep going down the field. Reading the quarterback's shoulders, the ball just came right to me. I was able to undercut the corner route and caught the ball. I was too happy I caught the ball. I didn't know what to do with it afterwards, so I just got a couple yards and got down.
So where are you from, and why did you decide to come up to West Point?
I'm from Fairfield, Ohio, down to Cincinnati. Shout out to everybody down there. And I just came to West Point. It was a great opportunity. I've been playing football my whole life, and so when I realized I had a chance to play at the next level, especially at this academy, I took advantage of it, and it's a great opportunity what comes after football and a career in the military. You just have a job right out of college. Most people can't say that.
Just last question. What is it like just to be able to work yourself out on the field, after getting to West Point and getting a chance to get out and play?
It's been great, especially I spent a year at the prep school, so that definitely helped out. I was able to learn the playbook and get familiarized with West Point, and then this year I was able to just embrace what the upperclassmen have been preaching over the years, like follow the course, stay the course, don't get discouraged when you're not getting as much playing time as you should. I'd like to thank all the upperclassmen, especially, and Coach Dixon for giving me the opportunity to make the play and be on the field when I was.
Congratulations.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
Go ahead to Zoom.
Hey Jaydan, Joe Icona with GoBlackKnights.com. Congratulations on winning the interception today.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
Hey, so did you know going into the game this week in practice, I know, all Army's players are always ready, but did you have a pretty good idea you were going to get some playing time this week? Was that kind of discussed in practice, or was it kind of something that came up at the last minute?
It's kind of every week I plan and prepare to make sure that I'm ready when I'm able to go in the game, but this week especially, I knew we had a chance playing this opponent that most people would get a chance to play, most of the backups would be able to play, and that we'd get the better of them in the first half, which we did, and so I was just ready when my number was called.
Good stuff. And my final question, being from Fairburn, Ohio, are you outside Army, obviously, are you a Buckeye fan?
Neither here nor there.
Neither here nor there.
I actually have Michigan in the game today.
They're in a tussle today.
Really? Yeah, I had a couple of teammates up in Michigan, so.
Okay. It's a close one. All right, thanks, Jaydan.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
Hi, Jaydan. Ken McMillan with the Times Herald Record.
How you doing, Ken?
Good, thank you. Congratulations on the win. Jaydan, how would you kind of rate the defense's performance these last 2 weeks?
Those last couple weeks we have played great. UConn, we gave up a great couple plays that we could have stopped, but overall only give up a couple real touchdowns in the last couple weeks. It's just been great. We've really been performing at our peak level, especially being able to watch all the upperclassmen and all the captains on the team play their position and vocalize how they think we should all play. It's definitely helped out.
Jaydan, were you on the field at all during that one goal line stand?
I was actually. I broke up the pass, broke up the slant route on the 4th down.
All right.
That was my first drive on the field.
How did it feel to, have a third goal line stand in 2 weeks?
It felt great. We really pushed, last of the hard, and I feel like we proved that in the last couple of weeks for sure.
And how do you carry this into Navy?
Oh, this momentum's going to carry over extremely. We are all feeding on each other's energy. Like today, we all have to feed off each other's energy, and this is definitely next 2 weeks of preparation. We're going to be riding high on this great win, and just get prepared to be Navy.
Yeah, I know TT's on the other side of the ball, but what's it like watching him guide this team the last couple of weeks and scoring 3 touchdowns today?
That was just amazing, seeing what he's all done for this program and how he's developed. Watching him before I got here, he's done a really great job. Yeah, they talking about you. They talking about you, TT. They talking about you. Yeah, he's done a really great job. Definitely a leader, on and off the field, in and out of the locker room, all over. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
I think you're good, Jaydan.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
We'll have Tyhier next. Ken Kraetzer will go first, and then we'll turn it over to Zoom.
Proud of you, man.
Appreciate it.
And Tyhier Ken Kraetzer from CaMMVetsMedia. Just tell us a little bit just how it felt. You're singing Brave Old Army Team after the game. You got a nice win. And as Connor Bishop said, playing well today would be the best preparation for Navy.
So it always feels good. Feels good to win. Always feels good to celebrate and sing that song in the locker room, as well as singing the alma mater. It's an honor. Something we don't take for granted. But it's really good momentum. But like I said, outside, there's a lot of things we need to clean up. There's a lot of things we need to see on film. But the preparation starts now. That's a good win, but this is the big one. Last year was the outcome we wanted, so we got a lot of things to fix, a lot of things to put in, and a lot of work to do. So it's a good win. Always great to sing that song in the locker room, but it's time to get to work.
I thought you started off, UMass got a good drive and a score on the board, but then you went to work and you got the touchdown from Jacoby on a 10-yard run where I think he broke about 5 tackles.
So what was the question again?
Oh, just what was that play like? How did that set up when Jacoby scored the touchdown?
Well, like anytime we give Coach the ball, we know we're gonna get positive yards. But it always starts off great play call by Coach Davis. You saw the way they were playing. Offensive line, they plugged the holes open, but Jacoby did the rest. He always runs hard. He attacks the weight room hard. That's just who he is. So whenever Jacoby gets the ball, we're getting positive yardage. So it was a great play call, great blocking, and great execution by Jacoby.
In the second quarter, this was one of the best quarters of your career with 3 touchdowns scored. The first one, you got a 4-yard touchdown. What did something just look good to you in how the offense was running when you went out in the second quarter?
Not really. The line always makes holes. The line always works hard. But it just goes to Coach Davis. He put us in the right positions. A lot of our plays look very similar, but the scheme comes from the formations and the setup. So he does a great job of seeing what they're in, getting us into good formation and running our base plays. The line blocked it off great. I do my best to run hard, finish my runs, make people miss. But just running the ball hard, that's all I did. It goes to the line, the slot backs and receivers, and then the B-backs. They did all hard work. I just followed them.
And you were 2 for 2 passing, and you had a nice 44-yard throw to Josh Lingenfelter, your tight end. Tell us about how that play set up.
I just try to be efficient passing. We don't throw the ball a lot, but I do try to hit. The way I run, it leaves a lot of play action wide open. But it was a great call by Coach. I really don't think we were in a heavy set formation. I don't think the safety knew that Josh was eligible, so he just let him run right past him. And I just read my progression, just put it on him, something he could catch, and he did the rest.
Very good. And how do you feel game like? Tell us about your offensive line, how they performed. Helping you get through those 4 touchdown drives in the first half.
Yeah, they play hard. They're tough. They're some of the toughest people I've been around. Excited to see what kind of leaders they're going to be in the Army, but they're tough. They work together. They're a team, and football is full of up and downs. And things go down, they're consistent. They stay level-headed. They don't get too down. They don't get too. They understand that football's up and down, but they're tough. Their toughness never. That's just the biggest thing. They're tough and they love me. They always say they're gonna protect me. I got their backs on and off the field. So it's just their toughness. That's the biggest thing.
Congratulations.
Thank you, sir.
Go ahead on Zoom.
Hi, Tyhier. Joe Icono with GoBlackKnights.com. Congratulations on the win today. First question, Ken asked a little bit about the long pass to Josh Lingenfelter down the middle, and that's, not the first time you and the other quarterbacks have been able to connect with him this year. Talk a little bit about what he provides to the offense, not only as a pass receiver, but also as a blocker in your running game.
Yeah, so Josh is probably one of the I mentioned toughness. He's probably one of the toughest dudes. Knockdowns, we count knockdowns. That's one of the things we grade. He's knocking 10+ defenders down a week. The energy he brings is crazy. Like he got a little something wrong with him. Like he's a tough dude. But just the energy he brings, and then he's smart. He's very smart. He knows his job, and he's constantly coaching up people around him. But his just energy and his toughness are the two biggest things that correlates to him being not just a good blocker, but an overall good football player and person off the field as well. Just all around good dude. He's just tough.
And then my follow-up and final question, you mentioned there's a lot of things you guys have to clean up before the big game in a couple of weeks. For you personally, what's the number one thing you're looking to improve right now heading into the game in a couple of weeks?
Number one thing is always taking care of the ball. We take care of the ball in 2 weeks, we're gonna win the game. I finish my runs, I run hard, make people miss. We're gonna win the game. But just being that field general, just still commanding the offense the way I do, just building up confidence in the locker room, but just emphasizing taking care of the ball, moving the ball, running the ball, and stopping the run. But that's when we do that, we're gonna win the game. But for me, just getting in the film, getting the game plan down, and just taking care of the ball. We take care of the ball in 2 weeks.
Thanks.
Hey, Tyhier, Ken McMillan from The Record.
How you doing, sir?
Good. Ty, that throw to Isaiah Alston, it's like the buzz of the internet. Can you talk about what Isaiah was able to do on that play?
Yeah, sir. So, we had a single receiver route called. If you just get the ball in Isaiah's vicinity, he's going to catch it. Like, it wasn't a perfect ball by any means. It wasn't a bad ball, but you get it in his vicinity, he's going to catch it. I think the DB had his other arm, put his other arm up, came down with it. We got the flag, too. So it would have been the first down regardless. But he made a play. And believe it or not, he does that every single day in practice. We throw one-on-ones. He's making a one-handed catch. He's on the highlight tape the next day. But that's just who he is, He has some of the best hands, some good routes. He's a good dude running off the field. But he's just a playmaker. That's the best way I can describe him.
Sure. Ty, you have to make a lot of decisions when you run the ball, and most of it's in close quarters. But what was it like to get out to the open field today?
It feels good. You guys know I take a lot of hits, so it feels good to get in space to try to make people miss sometimes. But I don't mind it when you run in between the tackles. You gotta lower your shoulders sometimes. That's when the weight room comes in. Pretty strong for my size, I would say. So I do take a lot of hits, but it doesn't really kind of affect me. But it always feels good getting out in open space and just opening up the stride a little bit.
What was it like not to get touched on that 27-yarder, and have you had a prettier play this year?
This year? No, I don't think so. No, I don't think I had one that wide open. It was a replay. I read. Sometimes you don't believe how wide open it was. It took the dive and then hit the hole. It was blocked up great by the slot backs, the offensive line. But it was a replay. They gave me the read I wanted. Got downhill, and it was, sometimes you just don't believe how wide open it is, but it was there. Bryson Daly scored on the same exact play later on in the game. So.
Yeah, Ty, you got 12 touchdowns this year, 24 for your career. I know you don't like to talk about yourself, but that puts you up in some pretty elite company here as an Army quarterback. What do you think about being able to put up numbers for your team like that?
It's an honor. I always tell people that being an Army football quarterback is one of the biggest honors, biggest privileges that I've had. You know, and I always say like I'm not playing just for me. I'm playing for like that legacy. You know, I talk to my Bradshaw often. I talk to AJ Sure often. Me and Kevin Hopkins are like this. So, you know, it's a legacy. You know, Jabari Laws is my best friend. Christian Anderson. Those are all guys that are, you know, going to be at my wedding and lifelong friends. So it's a legacy, and you're playing. You don't want to let those guys down. All the hard work, blood, sweat, and tears they put in. So it's definitely an honor to be in that category and just to represent a lot of great men.
Sure. Last thing, what does this say about the way Army played the last 2 weeks, especially heading into Navy?
It's good momentum. It's really good momentum. Really good for morale. Morale was never really down despite the season that we had. Everybody always came to work. Everybody always gave their all. But it's good. It's good. Like I mentioned before, we got a lot to clean up, a lot to fix. But this next one is big, and we got to get to work. It starts now.
Thanks, T.
Thanks, T. You're good.
Sir?
Can you believe the accommodations?
So much better at like you staying in for the business.
I can't wait to put somebody in a story room.
Okay, we're just waiting for Army coach Jeff Monken. Just heard from Army quarterback Tyhier had 3 touchdowns on the day, I believe 101 yards, and strong effort for first half touchdowns. Gave Army substantially going into the half, and good to see Bryson Daly get that touchdown run, 54 yards in the last series. He's expected to start at the top of the depth chart for quarterback position next year. But I'll give him some confidence. Just waiting for Coach Monken.
Oh my goodness. Oh,
The finest
There's-
accommodations.
yes. How you doing? They're make your way to the girls are getting ready to. Huh?
And Army coach Jeff Monken.
Beth's gonna go get the car, so I think they're about ready. They're gonna bring it around. Yeah.
I'll let her know.
Okay. We ready to go?
Go ahead, Ken.
Coach Ken Kraetzer, CaMMVetsMedia, congratulations, strong effort. I went back to what Connor Bishop said during the week, that if you play well today, that's the best way to prepare for Navy.
Yeah. I mean, I wanted us to play our best. I don't know that we played the best we're capable of playing today, but I thought our guys played hard and certainly at times played very well. There's still things that I if we don't play perfect, I'm really quick to kind of find those things that weren't perfect and agonize over them and perseverate over the things we could have done. But the goal line stand by our defense again was a really nice job again last week. Did that twice. Great catch by Isaiah. We got the ball going there in the second part of the first quarter, and we went 3 and out. But then all the way through the first half, I thought we moved the ball really well. It was disappointing to see us hit the punt 3 times coming out of halftime. That was a little bit disappointing, but we were able to put some points on the board and just keep them at bay enough that we were able to finish the game. The biggest concern as we kind of took control of the game was keeping those guys healthy. We only have them 2 weeks to get ready for the biggest game of the year, and just making sure we kept those guys healthy. We had a few guys go out, so hopefully we'll get those guys back this week and get them ready.
Yeah, you got 4 turnovers today, 2 fumbles and then 2 interceptions, and Fabrice Voin really helped set up that drive that led to Jacoby Buchanan's touchdown the first quarter to tie it up.
I continue to say the biggest factor in winning the game is winning the turnover battle. That really helps you win a football game. When you win a turnover battle 4-0, it's hard to lose the game. It's happened in college football, but it's really hard to do. So I was happy that we got those, and it was great to see a guy like Jaydan Mays get one, freshman, DeAndre Tobias, second week in a row that he's gotten an interception, really nice leaping interception, but creating those fumbles. And Fabrice, that guy just, man, he's done so much for us. Playing on special teams, playing a bunch of snaps on defense this year, and nice to see him making some plays for us.
Your defense generated 2 consecutive 3-and-outs, and led to Tyhier Tyler 27-yard touchdown run, going 4 plays, going 72 yards, I think it was, and then being able to do it again very quickly. Tyhier getting another 4-yard touchdown run, and then a third 3 touchdowns in the quarter for Tyhier. How did you feel about what got the offense going?
We just blocked them up better. I mean, like I said, the first drive going 3-and-out, that was disappointing, but we just blocked them better. And Tyhier made a nice throw to Josh Lingenfelter. It was a big play, and then ran the midline play and scored, as you said, from 27 yards out. Those are 2 big plays on a drive, and those. If you can hit a chunk play that takes up a good portion of the drive, the yards you need to gain to score, I think that too was a factor in winning. But certainly that's the corner on that drive. It's hard to go 75 yards and go 15 plays, 3 or 4 yards a pop. It's just really hard to do that. To sustain the blocks, to not make a mistake, to not have a critical error that gets you in a negative yardage play and put you off schedule for us. So hitting the chunk play was big, and we hit 2 of them on that drive. So each time we were able to come over to the sideline and get together, our coach was able to kind of draw up the things that we were seeing, and we were seeing multiple looks, and they may start configured. Structure a certain way on defense, and then move guys. When we move, sometimes they moved, sometimes they walk guys up late. So we had different calls and different things we wanted to do to the various looks, and we started to get those right. And then in the second half, we struggled, and we didn't sustain the blocks. And it doesn't matter what offense you run; you got to block people and keep them blocked. And we didn't do that as well to start the second half. I was glad we were able to finish like we did with some of those young guys getting in the game, and Bryson Daly having a nice long run again. And that's a guy that's going to play a lot of football for us in the future. So good to see him get some confidence and have a run like that.
How did you feel your defensive line played today? After the first drive, they really started putting pressure on UMass, creating the 3-and-outs and punts that led to opportunities for the offense. I thought Chris Frey had a number of plays today.
It was frustrating to watch them run the ball like they did against us. And talking to Coach Woody, they were utilizing a run scheme that they hadn't done a lot of. So limited preparation on that wasn't a major part of their scheme. But they obviously saw something and felt like that would work against us, and it did. We didn't fit it like we needed to. And we were able to get the guys together and settle them down and get them to fit the run better. Even in the second drive, they had some success again, just able to keep them out of the end zone after that. So that's obviously something we got to fix.
Thanks, Coach.
Yep.
Go ahead on Zoom.
Hey, Coach Monken, Joe Iacono with GoBlackKnights.com. Markel Johnson got a decent number of carries at fullback today, had some big runs. Can you talk about what he adds to the B-back position and what makes him unique in that position a little bit?
He's obviously built different than those other guys, not as big. Quick feet, slasher. He was a slot back for us. We moved him. Coach Davis made that change in the spring, and I thought it was a good move. I wasn't sure at first if it would fit him, but he does a good job, and he did have some good runs, and he runs hard. Just a little different style of runner, and it's effective. everybody's got to run the same plays. We can't run different plays with him and the other guys. I think he's got a certain style, and Jacoby's got a certain style, and Tyson's got a certain style, and hopefully, all of them will work in the scheme of what we're doing. And he did a good job today.
And my final question, Coach Monken, is we had Jaydan Mays in here earlier with his first career interception as a plebe. Talk a little bit about him. It's the first a lot of us have gotten a chance to see him play.
He's played some special teams for us this year, and we think he's one of a few guys. There's some good corners in that freshman class. So Jabril Williams, who blocked the punt last week, is one of those freshman corners. Justin Weaver, who made the trip with us, he's one of those freshman corners. That, we really like that group of guys. So Jaydan that was a big play, and had a chance to be in the game, and we had some guys out with some injuries, and we made the most of it. So it was a really good play, and excited for him in the future, and just what that does for his confidence.
Hey Jeff, Ken McMillan from The Record. Congratulations on the win. Jacoby's looking better and better, running and blocking. What do you think?
I think he's looking better. He's been banged up since, I guess, the Villanova game, and he just hasn't looked like himself. You look at him run the first couple of games, and look at him, as he's gone through the season. He's not quite the same, but he is still just playing really hard, giving his very best effort, and he's still a load to tackle. 280 pounds. It's a lot of fullback to tackle.
Tyler looked very good today, especially in close quarters. What do you think?
Thought he did a good job. Did a nice job reading the midline, and that was the play he scored on from 25 yards out or so. Had an errant pitch, going toward their bench, and we were going as we were viewing it, from left to right, and pitched off the wrong guy. We ended up with a negative yardage play. That was probably his biggest error of the day today. Made a really nice throw to Delaney Felcher on that play action pass. So I thought he did some really good things, and he's just such a competitive guy. When he's in there, he plays so hard, and I thought he did a good job. He had a good game. We pulled him out of there, obviously, get some of those other guys in there. That was great. We were able to play 4 quarterbacks today.
And in summation, you've had 2 strong wins here. How does that play into your next game? How do you feel about the way the team's playing right now?
Thought we did some good things the last 2 weeks. There's still some things that we need to do better. And as I was telling Ken, I'm probably to a fault critical of the things that we don't do well. But there's been a lot of good things. And it's nice to win these 2 games. We really needed to win these 2 games. There's been some games along the way this year that I still lose sleep over them. And games that we could have won, but there's games I've coached 10 years ago that I still lose sleep over. So what's new? But it's just the way it is. I think competitive people are that way, and so we were glad to get the wins. Just the confidence and the excitement of being in a locker room after a victory, and going into this game in 2 weeks. And there's not a bigger game on our schedule ever, any season, than the one coming up. And as you go along through the season, the next game's the most important game. It is. The next game is always the biggest game of the year. It's the only one you can play that week. But this game looms for 365 days. It's part of the DNA of this program, this institution, is to beat Navy. And so it's a big game, and we've got a lot of work to do, a lot of improvements we need to make, and we're going to need to play really, really well. These are always hard-fought battles, 2 teams that desperately want to win, and It's nice to win a couple of games, but what we did against UConn and what we did today against UMass has no bearing on how we'll play in 2 weeks. It's a game all its own. And so we've got to execute at a really high level and play really hard and play assignment sound football, not making mistakes that we can control, have nothing to do with the opponent, and give ourselves the best chance to win. So there's no game like it. Our kids are excited. I'm excited, but we got a lot of work to do in the next couple of weeks.
Thanks, Jeff.
Thanks, everyone.
Joseph Mendelson, Black Knight Nation. You mentioned before something about some injuries, and just a question of how severe. Anything severe in terms of the injury from this game?
I wouldn't tell you if there was, Seth, but you're nice to ask. I'll let them know you're concerned.
Nothing. I didn't see anybody come off. Watching on TV.
No, guys just kind of limped off and hobbled off and stuff like that. So hopefully everybody's going to be all right.
Thank you.
You bet.
Thanks, everyone.
See you guys. Be Navy.
Ken,
Congratulations.
thanks for
Sure.
making the trip.
Sure. Always.
Hope you had a happy Thanksgiving.
Absolutely. You too.
Come on, Mom. Watch your step going
And I'll
through
see
here.
you in Army Navy.
Okay, good, Nancy.
But took care of that. I can't believe
Watch out.
it.
Thank you, Matt.
Oh, yeah, it worked.
Slow you down.
We
We
did.
got a whole
Didn't
crowd
it?
out there.
I had a decent connection
So,
there.
slow you down.
Did you use your hotspot?
I used this little
Yeah,
5G hack.
Yeah, I'm not sure why it's. I have a problem because after you use so many, if you've been upgraded, I still think that it slows down after you use a lot of Wi-Fi.
Oh, yeah.
Let's see, I'm gonna go out in the field, do something, and wrap up.
Nice.
And then we went live on YouTube.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, that's what this was. This is a pretty good way to improvise.
Yeah. I saw this.